All right, everyone, welcome. Welcome to the launch event, the first of our meetups for the Seasons Feelings Holiday Mood Scarf Make-Along. It is a mouthful. It doesn't just roll off the tongue. But I apparently like to complicate things. So that's where we're at. It's so good to see everybody. I'm watching people come in, and so I'm going to um, maybe just give it just another minute or so for people to get settled. Please, if you haven't already, grab your yarn if you have it, your needles, your hooks, start casting on or chaining whenever you're ready. This is your time to stitch, and I will explain how the whole event is going to work for the next few months while we're doing that. If you have not already, please download the Make Along booklet. Inside of it is all kinds of good stuff, and I'm going to take you through that as well. The link will be in the chat shortly if you did not get the email or see it posted in the group. You can also just go grab it later after this, after you've watched this, and again at any point in time. Alrighty, so welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Vicki Howell. I am your host of this event. I am a designer and an author, and probably more than anything else over the past 20 plus years of my career, a community builder and really just a general cheerleader for knitting and crochet, and the unparalleled community that it allows us. My most favorite thing about knitting crochet is not actually the yarn, which sounds a little sacrilegious, and please don't take that as it not being really important to me. I am just in awe of the experiences I've personally gotten to have in the name of knitting over the past couple decades, but even more importantly, the people who I have crossed paths with. So all of us here at this time, watching later, um, at any point at your LYSs or at conventions, or maybe just even at your public library or in a restaurant, who you come across because you have this thing in common, these yarn and hooks and needles. It's an opportunity. It is a literal common thread that can break the barriers of these small windows or bubbles that we all create around us of people and experiences. And to me, that is a huge gift. There are many of us here today who probably would never have met under any other circumstances. We might have different life spaces or in other interests, jobs, and goals. But because we all have this one thing, we're here together. And that means that we have grown a network. And to me, that is invaluable. So thank you for being here. I know that having another login, we all need another place to log in like a hole in the head. And so I truly appreciate that you have come on, typed your way over to Stitchwell Social Club. For those of you that are unfamiliar, Stitchwell Social Club is the online community that I started in February. It was really my answer to um, needing a safe space on my own and wanting to create that for my fellow Stitchers that was sort of away from all of the noise that's coming at us right now, whether it's from ads or unwanted content or the vitriol that for whatever reason, many humans feel like they can unleash when they are in the under the anonymity of the internet, or simply just being tired of being out in the masses at all points. So I started it. It's an online community, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that side of it towards the end. I will also be doing giveaways towards the end, so flag me if I forget. But this particular space that the Make Along is running in is it started out over the summer with our very first mental health Make Along. It was called the Mood Ring Make Along. And just out of curiosity, um, I'm wondering how many people here today who are watching this live were a part of the first one. And if so, maybe you could just give a little hand raise or whatever. I can only see some of you, but I'm going to scroll. Um, okay, there's a thumbs up. That works too. There's a good amount of you. How many of you are new to this? Got a couple, we got a few there too. So for those that are new, I'm just going to give a little background. For those that know this already, go grab yourself, a cup of coffee, whatever. Just start stitching. So I started this, I wanted to do a make along. I've been thinking a long time about a make along. I had actually never run one before that was just for me and not me as a spokesperson for another company, or for a company. And so I was looking at the popularity of the temperature blankets over the years, like they've been around forever, right? And that didn't really resonate with me, but I appreciated the thought behind it. And so I came up with the idea of applying that popular technique or method to something that's really resonating in the zeitgeist of society right now, which is the need for self-care, for paying attention to our mental health. And that's where the first one came up. It's a mental health temperature blanket at the time. So that just meant that instead of, knitting or crocheting with a color that represented heat or snow or whatever, we really focused on our feelings instead. It's kind of like journaling, but with yarn, with none of that pesky writing, although there is the option for that too. And I didn't expect that many people. I've always been the weird kid, now clearly middle-aged woman, who, was the studier of people, who wanted to look within and go deep and find out how people worked, including myself. And now we have words for it. We've got mental health. I mean, introspection's always been a word, but we've got some personal growth words that didn't exist a long time ago. And so I thought that not many people would be that interested in it. It ended up that hundreds were, and it opened up my eyes to where we are right now as a society. And I believe where we are at a space where we really need community, and we've got so much coming at us that we really need a safe space for that community. And we also need to take time to, instead of address what our society's always been so conscious of, which is all that's going on the outside, what we look like, how we act. Instead, or in addition, we need to look at what's going on the inside. And thankfully, we're also at a space. I mean, unfortunately, we need it desperately, but fortunately, we're at a space where it's now become acceptable to have these conversations. And this is really just a conversation jumping off point. So that was a blanket, and it was going to just be one. It was a wrap gam. I have mine right here. And we had different stitch patterns, and you can see different emotions. This is mine. Sometimes I changed emotions midday, as you can see. It was a really, really nice exercise because for two reasons. One, I don't know about you, but I don't have stitching time scheduled. And a lot of times, if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't happen. Doesn't mean that it has to happen if it is, but I find that if you have some form of practice, you're more likely to actually create that space for you, especially those of us, and when I say those of us, I mean most of us who always feel like we are running on empty. It's really important to start that. But I thought it was going to be the only one. And then some really wonderful, sometimes profound revelations came up through a lot of our meetings and our time together that had nothing to do with knitting and crochet. It had to do with, everything about the human experience, a lot of it about the biological female experience, a lot of it about the parenting experience or workplace experience. But we had this forum to talk about it because, again, our yarn. And it became apparent towards the middle of the last one that people maybe were interested in continuing in this. So then a conversation started, and I promise I will move along. A conversation, I was thinking about how to make this keep going without it being like, okay, and we're making another blanket, and we're making another blanket. And I was having a conversation with my friend who is a designer in the sewing world, Christine Haynes, and she was talking about holidays and maybe it would be a good time to focus a little bit on grief. She had lost her partner 10 years ago, and she just talked about how hard the holidays are. And I think many of us feel that during the holidays. I personally have had losses that not only I think about during the holidays, but they actually happened right before Christmas, two separate ones. And I thought that there was something there, but I don't necessarily want to focus on grief and loss for 3 months. But if you do, absolutely, this should be your process. So I really started to think about all that happens during the holidays. We have this long period in the States, well, in all of North America at least, that starting with, yesterday was Halloween and going all the way through January, we've got holiday after holiday, depending on what you celebrate and what you don't celebrate. There's one after another, which means there's also a lot that can come up. There's this great nostalgia that can often come up. And nostalgia, there's a bunch of studies that show that nostalgia is actually a huge foundation for creating the people that we are today. There are social situations that bring up anxiety. There's financial stresses from gift giving. There's um, family strife from being at these events together. There's joy from starting new traditions and experiencing maybe old traditions with, younger people in your life. And it's this whole breadth. And so that's where the season's feelings concept came up. And it's really just sort of taking a look at that to de-stress through this time when we're all busy, but in a way that is hopefully as accessible as possible. So the scarves that we're going to be looking at and making today, I've built in all kinds of wiggle room, tons of wiggle room, and I'll talk about that in a second, um, so that there isn't any time constraint stress. And I'm also you're going to hear me say this a lot throughout the process. Take from this experience what serves you, leave what doesn't. If we start an exercise or if we start a meetup with a breathing exercise and you're like, that is not for me, do not do it. If you are feeling like you want to work ahead because you're on a roll and you want to just keep crocheting or knitting and it may not be like go with your mood log, do it. If you decide that you don't want to make a scarf mid make along and you are done and you want to make a pillow, do it. If you don't want to make anything and you're really happy with just the process, wonderful. My whole point is this is just a launching point for you. Before I get started, showing you through the materials, the written materials for this, are there any questions just to get started? And while you're typing or not typing or raising your hand, I also want to just give a big shout out to our yarn partners and support sponsors for this make along. It's we have a whole handful that happen to be on one umbrella company, but we're really lucky to have Jimmy Beans Wool. And those of you that are Stitchwell Social Club members at community level or above, you get 10% off shopping with them at all times. And you can find that in the Stitchwell Social Club on the main feed. But everybody, if you shop there, that's great. Barocco, Knit Picks, crochet.com. Yep, and that's it. So shout out to them. Thank you so much for the support. For those of you that do not have yarn yet, you do not have to use the yarn that we chose or by any of our sponsors or yarn partners. But if you're interested, you can find a post in the Make Along. It's featured in the Make Along space, and I've put together 9 different palette suggestions, just suggestions, 3 different yarns. I came at them, I put them together at 3 different budgets, so it would make everything accessible as well. So take a look at that. And you can join at any time. If you have friends that are like, what are you up to? And you tell them I'm doing this thing with a thing. And they're like, oh, but it started already. Have them come on in. Anytime over the next at least 6 weeks, they can start. This is sort of a perpetual thing. And again, I built a lot of wiggle room into it. Okay, I do not see any questions. Oh, I do love that people are writing or posting where you're watching from. If you would continue doing that, that would make me so happy. I'll be able to see them later. I am in Austin, Texas. This is my home office here. It is finally cool enough for me to wear sleeves. This is really exciting because last week it was still in the high 80s, so it's really exciting for me. But I digress. All right, so first, before we move along, I want to just take you through the booklet because there are a lot of pages. It's a 40-page situation. Um, I will go quickly ish, and at any point, if you have questions, you can just talk or you can raise your hand or whatever. Again, I don't need to just sit here and hear myself speak, so please don't feel like you have to not speak up. All right, give me a second and I am going to pull this up. That is the wrong thing. Maybe it's not. Okay, do you see a page that says patterns and process booklet? Okay, thank you. Okay, good. All righty, so this is the booklet. It's going to have some of the stuff that was in the welcome packet also. It explains what is this, all the things, you can reread that. It talks about the feeling wheel. I'll just really quickly recap. So I discovered the feeling wheel, which is a chart that's widely accepted amongst the mental health community. I discovered it when I was training to be a crisis counselor, a digital crisis counselor, about 2.5, almost 3 years ago, for Trevor Project, which is a crisis service for LGBTQ plus youth. And I just thought it was really interesting. It was created by Dr. Gloria Wilcox, and what she posits, and again what's widely accepted within the community, the mental health community, is that there's, a myriad of emotions and feelings, but if you get down to it, they all trickle down to six core emotions. Every sort of side dish emotion really is about something else at the core. And those are six core emotions. So we're taking those six core emotions and we're translating them into our palette for our make along. So, um, you have a coloring sheet, and you can use this, not use this, you do you. But this is a reminder, so you can use it as a key for when you're logging your feelings, what color you're going to use. Again, these are just suggestions. You do not have to do it this way at all. So I've broken out those six core emotions. They're joyful, peaceful, sad, mad, and powerful. But underneath those core emotions are those core emotions are just the umbrella for a whole myriad of others. And so I've listed those out for you. They're the same ones that if you look up the feeling wheel, they're just on this color wheel. I've just put them in lists. I also added some holiday specific variations, and you'll see those with the little stars next to it. Um, just because, I love a theme, just to sort of clarify. And the great thing about this, I think, is twofold. One, if you are feeling like you're not all about letting people know what you're going through, first of all, you don't have to ever tell anybody what colors you've attached to anything, or frankly, you don't have to tell anybody anything about anything. But if you do want to participate in some of the make along meetups where we are talking about what's coming up for us, and we will do that for anybody who's interested. For some, it feels less vulnerable to say, oh, this is my mad color, I'm, I had a mad day or a mad half day, than it is to say, well, really what is it about is that like I'm feeling selfish or I'm feeling jealous or whatever. That may feel less vulnerable and only you will know what it symbolizes. And so this is a way to sort of be a part of something, but it's really just the layer, and what it actually means, only you need to know it, or you're welcome to share. And this will be a community safe space where you can talk about as much or as little as you want as we move along. So then we have 9 pages of mood logs. So this whole make along is over a span of 90 days, but you can take it however you want. Um, you will just you can just number the days for yourself. It depends on which option that you choose for how this will work. But you can put the date in and then what number of day it is for you. You don't have to do that, but if you are trying to keep track, just where you are, it's actually a lot easier this time because we're building blocks instead of rows, so it's less necessary, but it'll just help you. Another thing that it helps is if you are not going to have time to knit or crochet for a day or two or three or four, if you can just at the end of the day just jot down, you can either say, oh, this happened, this happened, this happened, or you can just say mad or frustrated or whatever, or joyful or powerful, so that you know when you go back, okay, I'm gonna knit 5 days today. This is the order that I want them to be in. That's what this is for. It's just sort of to help you keep track. So you can use it as a tool, not use it as a tool. If you have more than one emotion in a day, well, this is probably a good time to talk about that. Most people don't only feel one thing all day, every day. So how I usually approach this, and again, do whatever works for you, is what the dominating emotion is, like something that really stuck out for you throughout the day. And sometimes, often, you might look back and say, like, there wasn't anything big, so I guess like I'm just kind of okay, which falls under peaceful. But if there are days where you were having like, oh, you had this great thing happen, you're feeling empowered, you're feeling powerful, and then you got some rough news. Well, those two things are, probably equally important. So you might want to split that up into two different colors. You can go mid-round, you can go mid-square, you can do a bonus square, whatever it is that works for you, you can do that. All right, so there's all of those. We had those for the last one. What I did add for this time is another these are some journaling sheets that I'm calling holiday notes, because there are so many things that can come up around events. Thanksgiving's coming up, and then of course we've got like Hanukkah and Christmas. When they're family gatherings, often things can come up that you don't deal with on the daily, because we're all in our own sort of daily life, that we don't have to go back to where triggers happen. Or conversely, um, all of the commercials that come up that are nostalgic, or the shows, like if you think about the stop motion shows that are really popular during the Christmas months, or the Charlie Brown Christmas and Halloween and Thanksgiving specials, or whatever it is that really brings some joy up for you, or some nostalgia. Maybe you want to write down like a memory or things that come up for you around that. This is just for you to expand a little bit. And the point in it, if there is one, is to sort of sit back and look at how and what affects you during this period of time. Okay, after that, we've got plenty of those. I've just included just kind of crib notes of upcoming events. This time, what is new is we are having several guest experts come in. It's my hope that these events keep evolving to where they are really about the community experience, and learning from one another, just as a community, but also expert guests that come in for whatever it is that we're focusing on. So we'll kick it off on the 12th with a lovely therapist. They are an art therapist, they are a clinical social worker, licensed marriage and family. No, clinical social worker. You get my gist. And they are going to talk about fibercraft art therapy, but also coping tactics for when you're in those social situations over the holidays, whether it's, that company party or it's those family events. So we're going to be just spending a little time. It'll be a short session workshop with Sarah Blevins. So that will be on the 12th. Then right before the week of Thanksgiving, for those of us in the States, when we're really going in for it, we've got the author of Yoga of Yarn. Liza Laird is a yogi, and she's going to help us just basically find our Zen through knitting and crochet through this practice called Drishti. After that, we're going to get our nostalgia on and we're going to take a break. And again, choose to do this or not. We're going to take a break. We're going to set down our needles and hooks and play around. My friend Jen Perkins, who is a craft designer. She was a co-host of the show Stylicious with me. We've known each other for 20 plus years. She does a lot of craft design and writes a lot of articles for HETV.com. She's coming in to teach us a nostalgia craft. We are going to be working with portrait or any photos that are printed on fabric. You can just do it through your computer and then embroider on them to make ornaments. Bonus if you use photos that have any form of knitwear on them so that you can embroider on your knitwear. So that's going to be a fun session we're doing in December. We're going to have another meetup in December. We'll try to have those monthly. I kept them only monthly because we are so busy during this time. I didn't want to project you out. After that, we are going to have Laura Zander, who is the former owner of Jimmy Bean's Wool, Mad Tosh, Delaque. One more I'm forgetting. She now is the chief brand officer for Local Crafts Group. They now own all of those brands, amongst others, including Knit Picks and Barocco. She is a really wise woman and an industry leader, and she's coming in to talk about New Year's intentions and about being a leader in the industry, approaching leadership and time in the workplace from the standpoint of supporting mental health. So that's going to be really lovely. We'll have another meetup in January that I'm calling a weave in, just to weave in some of those ends because I don't know about you. I need that, like I need some support for that one. And we will, I just realized there's an error here that should say January 28th, not November. That will be our final meetup. There'll be several pop-ups things in between, but that is just an overview. All righty. From there, let's talk scarves. There's a super scarf version and then there's a traditional scarf version. So the traditional scarf version will be about this wide. It's 6.5 inches wide, just for a visual you can see. And you can do either the granny square or the log cabin square for that one. And that is 10 squares. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 squares. Each round or log symbolizes a day. So you can either do a round or a log every single day and still have the daily practice because there's seven rounds, 7 logs, or you can wait until one night that you have, like if it's a Saturday or Sunday night, and you can do the whole week. If you do it that way, that means that you only need 10 days total over this 90. So it makes it super, super accessible. If you decide to do that every week or do the daily, or every day rather, around every day, or do the daily version, which is where you knit or crochet one square. There's a couple different options for crochet. There's what I'm calling a filled in granny square, or there is the smaller version of what that bigger granny square is. It's the more traditional. You can do one of those a day and you'll be making the super square or the super scarf. And you'll see there on the chart, it's wider, it's 12 inches wide and 72 inches long. The other one is 70 inches, so they're pretty close. And you will do one square every day. And that will take 54 days. So again, 90 days, it means that you can have 1 or 2 skip days every single week, or it's like over 40 days of skipping, depending on how you do it. So again, a lot of options. What's really exciting to me though is so many people are talking about mixing and matching, and I hadn't planned to do that until you all started talking about it, and I'm so excited about the potential of doing that. So mixing and matching the big and the small, mixing and matching crafts, and we'll talk about that later on the boards for how to go about that. All videos, well, most of the videos are up right now to show you how to do all these. Your mitered squares, I'm showing you how to seam as you go. So there'll be very little seam work. And and join as you go for crochet. If you are going to be mixing them, you're probably going to have to do a combination of seaming. But I mean, you can do so many different things I think it's going to be really fun. I'm super into patchwork right now, have been all year, and this to me just seems like a really fun like patchwork adventure. So let yourself have fun and go with it. All right, other than that, there's just the patterns. There's the patterns for all four. You can mix and match. There are instructions for how to join, how to seam. Um, I put together charts for those of you that prefer charts for crochet. So those are on there. And then there you'll see QR codes all throughout it for the playlist for tutorials. So all of that is there. And that really gets us through it all to get started. So what I would love to do, well, first, I would love questions if you've got them. Um, so please, at any point in time, either raise your hand or just speak. Um, and then while we're doing that, I would really love if people are open to it, if they would share, introduce yourselves, say maybe where you're knitting or crocheting from, and then love to see your palette if you want to share that. If you want to share which scarf you're doing or which pattern you're doing, that would be cool. And or if you want to share what brought you to this make along, why doing the Seasons Feelings make along was appealing to you, and you're here with us today. All right, who would like to go first? Anyone? I'm going to stop. I'm going to remove this spotlight so I can see everyone. Maybe one of my regulars can step
I'll
in.
go. I'll
Okay,
go.
do it. All right, Madeline, it is you.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to just say that I have my Garnier
Oh,
bag with my I have all my stuff in my Garnier bag. Um, and and then I've got the pins on there and everything. So I'm planning. I like that you. I mean, it makes sense, but you just said if I'm going to do the big granny square, I could do one of my little things every day if I wanted to, like the little row every day. So I kind of like that there is a daily option of even if I'm choosing that weekly square. So it's good. You got lots of flexibility for everything. And then I'm doing my palette is, I think I posted it, but greens and gray and white, like all
oh yeah,
the
yeah.
various
Oh, that's
greens.
nice. That's
And
very
oh,
nice.
another one that's kind of a
Oh, I
bluish,
like that. I love when you throw an aqua in there.
little aqua in there. um, yeah, so looking forward to it. And I actually, I want the width because I'm 6 feet tall. I want it to be wider. So
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking that I want to once I get all my squares together, I want to do a border on each side maybe or
Yeah.
something like that. So I'm sure we'll talk about those options later. I saw something in the book about that.
Yeah,
Um,
so there's a couple things you can do, and then I will not hijack your time talking. Hold on. So if you were doing the crochet square, you said you were going to do the crochet, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
you can just keep going in the rounds until it's as wide as you want it.
thought about that
Um,
too. Yeah, yeah.
so that's one thing. Or
Uh-huh.
these are about six if you want to supplement it with the other um
Oh, yeah.
with the
Mm-hmm.
little, so this is not going to be quite as wide, but you could make it as wide as you want. You could just add
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Or you have absolutely could do rounds and rows of double crochet or whatever you want to make it wide. I also wanted to note that if you didn't want to do if doing the daily seemed cool but really overwhelming because it's 54, you could also make a regular size scarf by just doing 2 columns instead of 3 columns of the little 4-inch squares. Just when you are joining as you go, you could start, and you don't even have to make a life decision. You could do two. And then at the
Mhm.
end, if you're like, I'm going to keep going, you could do that third column and make it the width
Oh,
after
yeah.
that. So you can decide later. But carry on.
Yeah. No, I mean that's all I've got really. I'm in Indiana. It's getting cold. So good timing. What else did you want us to say? I mean, I think
Well, I mean, if you want to share why you're doing this, you took part in the
oh,
first one, but if you feel like it, you can.
yeah, I did the first one. I did like monitoring, kind of paying attention to my feelings. And just, and a lot of us throughout the first one noted that we were surprised by some of our feelings. And that was kind of a nice thing along the way to realize that I do have some joy, even though I'm stressed out and running ragged all the time. So that was kind of nice. But I love the community. I love the community aspect of all of us coming together and making some together, and also seeing how it manifests in such different fun ways that for everybody's different projects. So I just like doing it in the community. So that's my big thing. That's it.
I think just to sort of piggyback on what Madeline just said, I think a lot of us, there are some things going on in the world right now. I don't know if any of you have realized that. I think a lot of us were surprised that our blankets weren't full of rage. Like, I think a lot of us were like, I really expected more like sadness and anger. And that was actually a really wonderful revelations, because it made, at least made me realize that it's that same sort of thing where you can get 17 comments, 17 like positive compliments, and then one put down, and it's that one put down that you're like, everything is ruined. And so this was a really good visual reminder that, like, oh no, you actually have all of this good stuff. Like,
Mhm.
let's go ahead and refocus, So that was really for me a wonderful experience. So thank you for bringing that up. Um,
Absolutely.
okay, who else would like to?
Hi, this is Nancy.
Hi,
Hello.
Nancy. Good to see you
Hi.
again.
I'm kind of in bed today. I'm not doing too good today, but
I'm sorry.
I'm
You look
excited
like you're
to
coming to us from the afterlife.
no, I
The
think
glow.
there's something wrong with my
No, I
my
love it. I love it. You look
yeah.
like, yeah.
It is Dia de los Muertos,
It
right?
is. It is. No, it is. And so, like, for anybody that celebrates that, I do. I have, um, I'm half Hispanic, and so, like, for me, like, this is a really sort of joyful day of kind of communing and thinking about, ancestors. So, yes.
I'm gonna do the regular knit scarf, the log cabin. And
Okay.
I'm very excited because I didn't get in on the last one, the blankets that you all did. So I'm very excited about trying this out.
Oh,
And
good.
all of the other small um, seminars that you're going to have.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Is there a particular one you're looking forward to, or no, just
Oh,
in general?
no, the math for knitters, those are my two favorite things in the whole wide world. So math
Oh,
and knitting.
okay. So Nancy is a Stitchwell Social Club member. Um so this is a separate thing, and I'm really glad that you brought it up. So
Okay.
Stitchwell Social Club is the private community, and it's really important to me that it's private because people tend to be more open to being vulnerable and supporting one another when it's not out in public, and you're also a little bit more committed that way. And so I just launched this portion of it, and I'm really excited about continuing it. That, along with there's like 50 or 60 patterns and a bunch of workshops, and all of this other content that you get access to when you become a member. I also now starting expert guests, one a month. Last month we had a color theory workshop that was
It
fantastic.
was.
So good with the Stitch and Witch. And the one for November is Kate Atherley, who is a brilliant tech editor and designer. I met her when she was a guest on a PBS show I hosted called Knitting Daily, and she has a new book out called Math for Knitters. I am a 20+ year designer, and I still struggle so deeply with math. And so for me, when she agreed to come on to do a workshop that really is showing some hacks, I was so thrilled. So you can join for $12, cancel every time, let me try that again. Cancel at any time, and you get access to that workshop and all of the former workshops. So I'm glad you're looking forward to that one. We have another one with Twinkie Chan, who is this really so fun, this amigurumi designer, and also she works for Creative Bug, and she's coming in December. So I'm glad you're looking forward to it.
Great. Thanks.
And I hope you feel better, Nancy.
Thank you.
Who's next?
I'll go. Lois.
Okay, Lois. Okay, thank you. It takes
Uh-huh.
a second for Zoom to pop up with who's speaking, so Hi, Lois.
Hi, I'm from New Jersey, and what brought me to this, I've always followed along with what you have going on all the way back to Nitty Gritty days, but I don't always give myself the time to actually participate in something or do a project. And I just decided that I liked the idea of Seasons Feelings and committing to, like a square a day. So I'm going to do the daily. And what really sold me was you coming up with this palette.
Oh, yay, the
Because
retro Christmas one. Yeah.
exactly,
Love it.
because I decorate in those colors
Me
often.
too. Me too.
Yeah.
You show it
So
again. Will you show it again?
this one.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So as soon as I saw that, I said, oh, I have to do this.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah,
I
I'm
go back and
excited.
forth. Yeah, I keep going back and forth. Like, should I do that one?
Yes.
But I'm trying to break myself. Like, I need to maybe do something that's not aqua at some point. So I think I'm going to do this one just to break myself from it. But I can't wait to see. I know there's an, I don't know if she's on this, but I know Alyssa is also doing that. Anyways, you know what's going to be fun about this is that because it's patchwork and there's a quadrillion different, palettes and people have come up with their own, everybody's is going to look different. And to me, that's so fun. That's going to be really cool.
Great.
Well, I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you.
Glad to be here.
There are a lot of you that hid your faces. I feel you. I feel you. Is there anybody else?
I'll go. Sophia.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, this is my first time here. I'm from New York. So I think what drew me was just because I don't have like a group of knitters around me. So I was looking forward to that. And I think it'll be interesting to pay attention to my ever-changing emotions. Um, I wasn't sure what I was getting into, so I was nervous about investing in good yarn.
Yeah, that's
So I
fair.
just went like really cheap at my local yarn shop. So we'll see how that comes out. But
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully my trust goes up through the process and I'll get better yarn next time.
Yeah, and I mean, part of this is about you feeling comfortable. So if that means that that makes you comfortable with your budget, you should do it. If it means that you have to abandon ship because you're like, this is not great on my hands, do that. Like you can do whatever works for you. The Knit Picks version is really nice if you do need to go another route, and it is only $4, $5 a ball too. So if you decide, but I love that you just said that you support your local yarn store. To me, that's more important. So good job. Well, welcome, welcome. Who's next? Mary, are you going?
Yeah,
Okay. Hi, Mary.
hi. Trying to get all my yarn here situated. Because I've posted it, but I want to kind of show too. Oops. So there's my yarn colors.
Pretty, pretty.
Um, being a Stitchwell member, I find that having these, make-alongs kind of helps me be with other knitters, crocheters on a project and gives me a way to kind of express how I'm feeling on these make-alongs like I did with the Rapgan.
Good, good. So you're ready to dive on in again?
Yeah, I'm still kind of working on the Rapgan a little bit too. So, like being able to do a square a day, I'll be able to go back to the Rapgan to finish up on it.
Perfect. Well, that's perfect. Well, thank you for sharing. Who's next?
I'll go.
I'll go. Oh, go ahead, Lori. Go, you go.
Lori, go, and then Mylene after that. Okay.
All right. I'm Lori Andrus, and I am from Southwest Michigan, just 40 minutes from our big, beautiful lake. This is the palette that I've chosen.
Fun.
Purple is my power color, and so I like to put that anywhere I can. I love to wear it. I am a Stitchwell Social Club member, and I've just have found it such a welcoming, warm community. Not everyone has stitchers close by, and my husband really has no appreciation for my playing with yarn and my collecting yarn and patterns. So this is a really very good outlet for me. And I still have my Rapgan to finish as well, but I love it. It's cozy and comfortable and totally me. So I appreciate it.
Love it.
And think I'm going to try the square a day. I wasn't going to, but then I'm sitting down with everyone and I'm just looking and it's like, oh, I think I can do this. So I think that's which way I'll go.
Well, but also remember you can do mix and match. You know, you could do like, I don't know if you're doing the knit or the crochet, but you could
The
do
crochet.
like you could do sorry to use my chest as the,
Oh, there we go.
you know what I'm saying? Like you can
Yes. Cool. I like it.
you can change it up, and you might have to do an extra round of border, or you might have to you know what I'm saying? Like you might have just to,
Yeah,
but you don't have to make a life commitment and stick with
but
it.
I do really like that. That's a great idea.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
I think that's probably what I'm going to end up doing, just because I get bored easily, frankly, and it'll also fit in, you know, with the schedule. So yeah, well, I can't wait to see what you do. Mylinka, you're up.
Hello from Northeast Texas, where it is also finally warm enough. Like I actually have on a hoodie
Look,
and
we're
had to
both
put my
wearing
hood up
sleeves.
earlier. I know, sleeves and a hoodie and a t-shirt underneath. It's like fall-ish,
Yeah.
at least for another day or two. So I'm a member of the Stitchwell Council. I've been a member, I guess, since you started this, and have been following you for a very long time. I
Let
did
me
the
pause and
last,
tell people what that means. So
yeah,
this, so
yeah.
Stitchwell Council is another tier. So there's the free tier, which all the members are a part of, and then there's the community membership, which gives you access to everything, and it's $12 a month. And then there's the next one up is council, and they're really they have access to everything, but they're really sort of my sounding board. We do roundtables every quarter to try and figure out like what's working, what's not working, what do we want this group to look like. And their money also, their little extra money that they get, not little extra, but they it goes towards if anybody in our community goes through a hard time and maybe needs a few months where they want to they might need to cut out spending, and this is discretionary money, right? It is. But a lot of times when we go through hard times, that's the time when we need our community the most. And so we're able to give these sort of mini scholarships because of our council members too. So that's another thing that you can upgrade if you feel like it. You can go and you can log into your account, upgrade, and it's the Stitchwell Council membership level. Carry on.
Yeah, exactly. Stitchwell Council, it's good. Do it. If you can, do it. It's great. So I did the Rapcan make along. I just finished weaving in all my ends just last
Ooh.
week. So I was originally going to turn it into a little shrug, but now I kind of keep using it as a blanket. So I guess it's going to stay a blanket for now. And I love it. And I'm one of the people that has a surplus of my angry and my stressed yarn and my sad, because I really thought that's what I was going to be doing. So I'm going to make something else with that yarn, since I have a bunch of it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. But for this project, which I'm very excited about, I have the Ultra Alpaca, and my thing is blurry, but it's all the like purples and the one wherever the aqua went. There it is, kind of a aqua blue, white, because I have a silver motorcycle jacket, and these colors will be amazing as a scarf with it. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I think I might do the mixed crochet blocks. Originally, I was like, mitered squares, because I want to learn that skill, but also I don't want to stress myself out. So I love the idea of having these maybe with the crochet and the look of a crocheted patchwork scarf with that silver leather jacket. I think it was going to be awesome.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
What if you mixed mitered squares with
I originally that's what I thought about too, to give the
with
so
with
to
the
skill build. Yeah, I think it will look pretty awesome.
It's,
Yeah, and
I
then I
mean,
can, I, as you say, you do you, right? I'm
yeah,
excited.
I mean,
I
you
also
could try
want to
it.
learn, I want to do miter squares. I think we had a project with Yarnier with miter squares, and then I chose the crochet option probably, um, just because I could do it quicker. But yeah, so I
Yeah, it
haven't,
was a
obviously I
bag.
haven't, it
It
was
was
a
a bag.
bag, yeah. Was it the little like pink pillow that's behind you?
Yeah,
The pink and red?
yeah, I don't have that one
I think
anymore.
it was that project.
I don't have the mitered one anymore because I think moths ate it, but this was the
But
yeah,
yeah, it was that project. That's right. It was
yeah,
that project.
yeah.
So I didn't do that, but my goal is to one, I need to I need to cake my yarn, and two, I need to find my I need to find my needles. That's the other thing. I'm probably going to start with crochet because I have my 5 millimeter needles just wander away. I
That's
don't
how my
know
H
why.
hooks are. Same
They're
thing.
all with dryer
Never can find
socks
them.
and Tupperware lids.
Never can
Tupperware
find them.
lids and dryer socks.
Yeah.
And I just need to buy like a bulk of 5 millimeter hooks
Yeah.
and needles and circulars because they always are the ones that wander. Gremlins are knitting and crocheting somewhere with them.
Yeah,
But
for
yeah,
sure.
I'm really looking forward to this. I think most people that know me in this group know we've had some losses in my family this year. So this holiday season I think it's gonna be a little rough.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to being in the group.
Yeah. And that's what we're here for. That's what we're
Yeah.
here for. There's something about being able to stitch through it with people that is really special. I always use this as an accent. I don't know if any of you have seen the movie Lars and the Real Girl from, oh my gosh, 10, 15 years
Love
ago.
it. Great movie.
But there's something that stuck with me since then. This character is going through some mental health issues and some loss, and this whole town comes, and around to support him. It's Ryan Gosling before he was like
Yeah.
Ryan
Before he
Gosling.
was famous. Yeah.
And there is a moment where they're just all sitting around. Some are reading, some are knitting, some are crocheting, whatever.
Mhm.
And there's a comment like, "Oh, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it." And one of the characters said, "That's what we do. We show up and we sit." And to
Mhm.
me, that's what this is. Is
Yeah,
you don't
absolutely.
have to do anything but show up and stitch. You don't even have to stitch if you don't want to, but it's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
about that
Mhm.
presence, that knowing that you have that community support, whatever that means to you. So
Yeah, and it's something to look forward to too. Like if you're having a terrible week or whatever, and there's a meetup or there's a workshop, and it's like, okay, I can go. Like you said, I don't even turn my camera on if I don't want to. I can just
yeah,
go sit, and it's like being in yoga, right? In a yoga studio, when you're just like, I can't do this pose or whatever, but you can just be in yoga in the studio. So yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. And that's another good point. So we have more frequent meetups too on the Stitchwell Social Club portion too that people can just show up and hang out to do too if you're interested. Thank you, thank you. I want to stop really quickly and then I want to give other people time and I want to do a quick giveaway. I'm going to do 2 today. The first one is going to be it's going to be purples. It is Barocco Ultra Alpaca. It is a lovely yarn if you have not tried it. It's a really delight. It is merino and alpaca. And so all I am going to do is just randomly, I'm just going to scroll through and wherever my little mouse stops, I'm going to choose. I might be mispronouncing this, so I apologize. Khadijah? Khadijah?
Yes, that's me. That's
Did
you
I
said it
did I
right.
say it right? Okay.
Yes, you
Okay,
did.
good. Okay, good. Khadijah, you are the winner of this.
Oh,
If you
thank
would, if you'll go on to the group and just DM me your address,
okay.
we'll get it out to you. Um,
In the Zoom or
no, if you would go, because it'll all go away as soon as I hit
okay.
stop. If you'll go, if you go to the make along space, you can just click on my icon and it'll say chat and just send me your info.
Okay, I
There you
will.
go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. All right. And I'm going to do one more at the end, but until then, Khadijah, do you want to tell people? You don't have to,
Yeah, I
but do you want to
can.
tell?
I was going there,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I'm in my coat because I do telemeds. I'm a neurologist, so I was like kind of trying to listen and do this at the same time. So
So you
that's
are
what I'm
our
doing.
second neurologist in the group. We've got another neurologist. I love it. Love it. Okay.
But I didn't get to participate in the other mood rap GAN you did, which I kind of like now I was like, dang, I wish I could have done that because I found out about this late. But when I saw this come up, I don't even remember where, but I was like, oh, that sounds like such a great idea because a lot of times, you know, like you said, especially around these times, you know, there's so many different things going on, emotions and stuff, and with crocheting, which I'm fairly new to crocheting. I haven't tried knitting it, but I'm fairly new. I started actually in February with crocheting. And so it's been such a good, I would say, like helping in a mental health aspect and like just kind of being able to like just stop those thoughts sometimes that kind of come, like especially with anxiety and things like that. I just find like my mood has been a lot better since I started crocheting. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh, this would be good to kind of just really gauge how my moods are and really touch base. Because a lot of times I'm like, oh, everything's good when maybe it's not.
Yeah.
But I decided to do the wool of Andes. I'm going to do the daily, the small crochets. And I did my own kind of color palette. I don't know if you, can't see where my stuff is,
I see your Delaque snap bag. I love
yeah,
those. Yeah.
it came with it, but I like these kind of colors, the teal and blue, like the teal, especially aqua colors are my favorite color. So I
Yeah.
kind of did a variation of those and figured kind of do kind of like a gradient kind of thing of the different blues. Although like I showed my friend and she's like, are you okay? She thought like with all the blues that I was like really sad. So
Oh, really?
but that's kind of
Interesting.
the colors that I chose. And I kind of was like the other person, I wasn't really sure about the yarn and stuff. So I went for like the cheapest option for now just to kind of have an idea.
It's a really good option. Like, I mean, it is inexpensive, but they sell wholesale to public, so it's going to be less expensive. It's a really nice yarn.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'll try that one first. And then if as time goes on, because I really wanted to try some of the others, but as I said, I'm fairly new, so I'm still trying to
I mean, I'm
learn.
looking at your stash. Like, you're in it, lady.
Yeah. It became an addiction.
I love it. I love it. Hey, just as a side note, because I've spoken a little bit. We've got, as I said, that we have a neurologist who's a council member. Her name is Nicole. Um, do you find any carryover? Have you found any of sort of the data from neurology, any correlation between whatever it is, either the dopamine uptake, whatever it is that you get from crocheting? Do you find any correlation with the work that you do?
uh in the sense of like the feeling that I
Yeah,
get from
yeah. Or maybe it's the intersection of what you know clinically is happening in somebody's brain and what you're actually like feeling by doing it.
I mean, I haven't really thought about that. I guess I'd have to really
Yeah.
delve into that because, like I said, it's just been fairly new for me. I never even thought that I would honestly even enjoy it. I kind of just did it because I was looking for something, a hobby, something, I guess, just to kind of, I guess, like just relieve some stress, a way to relieve
Yeah.
stress. I don't really do other, I don't drink, I don't do anything else. So it's like I was trying to find something to just kind of like, I guess, relieve stress. And I think in that aspect, yes, it definitely has been a good correlation to kind of reduce that stress and like that meditative kind of trance you kind of get into. I think definitely is a correlation of, especially from the mental health aspect, of improving the serotonin and the dopamine is needed to kind of improve your mood. So
Khadijah, there's some evidence that the repetitive motion is like your vagus nerve. Does that make sense?
not really, no.
Okay.
I'd have to look into that. I
Debunked.
haven't seen that. I mean, because the vagus nerve, yeah, it does. I don't know. I'm not sure how that would work. Oh, sorry.
Do you have to go?
No,
talk?
no, somebody,
Okay.
it was my
Okay.
sister just calling. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of like from the mental health perspective, the repetitive movements have been shown to.
Yeah, I
help.
think the movements in that aspect, from what I understand with neurology, is it would be more of just the stimulation of, like you said, like the dopamine and the serotonin, the muscle activity, a lot of that, especially the dopamine, that movement triggers our brain to release that dopamine, which I deal with a lot of Parkinson's patients. So that's kind of like, I think in relation with that, it kind of helps to trigger the brain to different parts of the brain that we may not necessarily activate.
Oh, fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to ask more questions later when we well, so happy to have you here. Happy to have you
Thank
here.
you.
Before we wrap up with another giveaway, is there anybody else that would like to share?
Yeah, I would like to share.
I would love if you would do that, Sarah. Hello.
Yeah. So I'm also a member of the council, and I do want to say for my plug that this has been, it's such a nice community. It's very supportive. I know I've gotten lots of support personally from it, and I'm going to need it too for this crochet along. Here's my palette. I went with Knit Picks of or Wool the Andes. And I went for it mainly because of this magenta color. It's the powerful color. And I just thought, oh wow, that is powerful right there.
Yeah.
But I just suffered a loss. My 15-year-old nephew passed away unexpectedly on Tuesday.
Oh,
And so, and I actually ended up having therapy the very next day, which was very helpful. And I was telling her, this is going to be a very my sad color is the off-white, and I said this is going to be a very off-white scarf, but I was thinking, well, I could just decide not to do it, but I think it's going to help me a lot to think about things and to see that it's not going to be just like with the folks on the summer blanket. You guys noticed it wasn't all anxiety and sadness and anger, and it won't be for me either. In fact, I started my square for now, which I went with the calm for first because of I'm thankful for this project so much right now. And I decided too for the joy is the blue color. And whenever I start a project, I feel a lot of joy. And so I wanted to have a stripe of that. Obviously I'm going to do the small squares. So I think also I can add extra squares whenever I need them. Because it can be as long a scarf as I want. So
yeah, there are no rules. Well, thank you
yeah,
for sharing that. I'm so sorry for your loss. And
thank you.
and your sad color, I don't know, maybe when you look back at that, cream is actually also just generally like a calming color, so maybe you'll be able to look at it from a different perspective later.
Yeah, that's exactly what my therapist said too. She said, there's going to be days where it's going to be very, very cream and days where it's going to be just a little bit of cream, and it'll be interesting to see how the healing journey goes as well.
Yeah. That's a gift that you're giving yourself, sometimes it's really hard to know what's going on the inside, and so when you can look at it and you're like, oh, okay. It helps us to move on to whatever it is that we need to learn and work through from there. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I'll go real quick. I'm Laura. I'm new.
Welcome.
New to the group, but I have been following you for a long time. I am in New Jersey. I've been crocheting for like, I don't know, 16, 17 years, something like that. So I'm excited for this. I'm a big proponent of self-care. Mental health care is really important to me. So I thought this would be a fun project, and also kind of just keep me grounded for the holidays. Holidays tend to be like, I absolutely love the holidays, but I have expectations that usually end up not coming to fruition, so I think I'll have a little of both in there, a little of the good, a little of the bad.
Yeah.
And and here's my two cats that keep joining. They continue joining the meetings.
Oh my
There's
God, look
one.
at that little love butter.
She's huge. And the other one's behind me. They just keep joining, even though I can't move them over.
Yeah. What colors are you going to use?
I'm using, I went with like an inspiration from one of yours, but I picked something acrylic because I kind of wool averse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So these are my colors.
Oh, nice. Oh,
yeah,
nice. I remember you posting those. Those are really
yeah,
nice.
I tried to match them with my favorite one that you had posted, which I think was the alpaca. But yeah, I tend to not love wearing wool. It makes me very itchy. So
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm glad you found something. What is that a Knit Picks yarn?
I got it from Knit Picks, but it is Line Brand. It's called Color Theory.
Oh, color. Yeah, that's solid. Solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never used it before, but it feels really nice. And yeah, but they had it through Knit Picks, so that was perfect.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, everyone, we have come to the end of our inaugural meetup. I want to give away next a bundle of vintage. This is the kind of like, I don't know. To me, I call this 90s living room, late 90s living room, but that could just be because that's what mine looks like. But it is a really nice sort of like wintry forest bundle. It is 6 colors, so you could use it for this or not. And I'm just going to do my magic scroll through again. Patricia Brooks. So if you wanted to, hi, congratulations. If you want to message me within the group and just let me know where to send this, I will get it sent to you. Congratulations. Would you like to close us out with where are you from? Which one are you going to work on? Do you have colors yet?
I have colors. I'm using the vintage number 3, the Barocco.
Okay, perfect.
And I just don't have them in here with me right now. I'm from the coast of Washington State, little tiny town called Ocean Shores. So I noticed that there's somebody from Vancouver and somebody from BC. So I got people close.
Yeah.
I am new to this program. I decided to do this because I wanted the community and I need to keep my hands busy. Yeah. I've recently been diagnosed with ADHD at 63.
Welcome.
So I'm navigating those waters right now. And I think this would be a good way to monitor how I'm doing and how I'm feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Patricia, if you decide to join Stitchwell Social Club, we actually have an ADHD group within there. Kind of a support group because I was diagnosed at 51.
Okay.
And it kind of threw me completely, my whole view of who I thought I was. So we've got a really good solid group of people with resources and we're having some candid conversations. And so anyways, that if you join the private site.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Well, welcome everyone. We will have plenty of events, but use the boards, reach out to each other. This is really about your experience. It is not about me as your host at all. And what I hope is that you find a community amongst each other. The greatest way that you can do, or the thing that will help that the most, is just filling out your profile, which I know a lot of people just find like, the 7th circle of hell going through that. But what's great, all you need to do is add a picture. If you're not comfortable adding a picture of yourself, don't feel like you have to, but it really helps people connect if they can see a face. And if you can just type some of your interests, so the platform is Mighty Network, and there's an AI tool that you can just you can put in your interests and then you can have it write it for you if you're not a writer or if you just don't have the time. And what that does is it'll help match you up. Like, oh, you have this in common with a bunch of other people, and you can choose to ignore it or not, but it really is just a great way to, it really helps it helps me with my whole goal of creating this community, and it'll help you connect with people. So if you can consider doing that, that would be great. And then if you are interested in supporting your favorite local community builder and designer. There's a few ways that you can do that. Number one is joining Stitchwell Social Club at either the $12 or $25 levels, and you can cancel anytime. You can always message me to help if it's not clear. I'm going to do a tutorial. I am battling out some stuff with the tech, but you can always message me if you'd like to do that. That's one way. Two, using any of my affiliate links. I have all those posted for these yarns, but I also have affiliate links with Pearl Soho and Knit Collage if you tend to shop with them. Three, I have a new book that is out this week. It is not your traditional book. It is actually really for people that don't have any experience at all knitting, or if you're interested in working at a big scale or trying a new method of working with yarn. It is called No Needles Knitting. So you can find that wherever you get your books. And then one last way would be when you download the booklet, there is an option to pay for it, either at a $5 or $10 level. You do not have to. This whole make along is free. It was important to me that this be accessible to everybody. But if you do that, it does help one make a living. So feel free to go that route too. Another way is just tell people about this make along. People can join at any point in time, really over the entirety, but over the next 6 weeks, especially because of all of the things that we've talked about. Nobody's ever going to be behind. You will actually hear me throughout this talk about how nobody is ever behind in this, but if we're being literal, you will not be behind because there is an option that could take as little as 10 days for you. So please just tell people, spread the word. I appreciate it. Thank you for being a part of this, for taking some really, really, I know how precious everybody's time is in general, but during these times, thank you for sharing that. And thank you for also coming over to another platform that is not the usual Ravelry, Facebook, Instagram. I know it is, it's not always the easiest to try something new, so I appreciate you. If you have any questions, you can always reach out directly to me, post comments. Please share I want to see, share your works in progress. We love seeing it. So do that, and I will see you together. We will be together for the first event, which is with a therapist to talk about coping skills and using fiber arts as therapy. So thank you for being here. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I really look forward to these next few months with you all. Bye.
Bye.